Hello darlings, I am Cassandra. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming. So I'm going to give you a downloaded message from my King of Pentacles doll that I created. I am currently doing the Success Magic book by Damon Brand, and I want to just devote this video to a downloaded message I received while making the King of Pentacles. And I'm going to show some pictures where I took some really good pictures of him. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me move this out the way. You see his beard is made of shredded money, and real shredded money, by the way. Oh, there it is. It's in focus. And then I gave him $1 million mustache. And then guys, look, I made his hair out of $1 million bills. Look at there. Check it out. I love the flip. Look at the flip. And the flip is real. Okay. The flip is real. And then this is his crown and the top of his head, of course. What else? Hard cash. Shredded cash. Now he is anatomically correct and he is gorgeous. He has a six-pack, and in his anyway, I want to say, I was trying to think of a better word for testicles, but there are like some really nice gemstones in there. Oh my god, it's really cool. And people talk about the family jewels. Oh, he has jewels. I don't think I'll ever make anybody else's any testicles without using some really cool gemstones. It was just like, oh my god, why didn't I think of this sooner? And then this is a sleeve. As you can see, it has a print of the American money. Let me just get the sleeve over here. Let me get perfect right here. I don't know if you guys can see. I don't know if I can get this in focus. Where is Mr. Benjamin Franklin? He was on one of the sleeves, really prominent. Oh, there he is. See, there he is. But anyway, so he has grapes on his robe, which represent wealth and hard work, long-term generational wealth. And I wanted to put the charms, and then he has these $100 bills on his lapel, on this little collar here. I don't know if you can make it out. And then for his shoes, now let's talk about this. I gave him, for a ring, a glass of wine, and then there's like a money sign, and here is a wealth key that I sell in my Etsy shop, but it's saying that he has the key to wealth. This is my version of the King of Pentacles. And then also his shoes, his boots are just so dope to me. I don't know if you can see, it has like a little, for the buckle. Is it gonna come into focus? Let's see, can I get it into focus? There it is. I don't know if you guys can make it out. Maybe I can get it in focus better when I and then I put anchors to show that he's anchored. But anyway, the King of Pentacles represent, he's supposed to be a very wealthy business owner, a community man. He's supposed to be a family man, a husband, just all this, I want to say like a perfect patriarchal figure in the traditional tarot deck. So when I was performing the Success Magic in my first few days in, my guy said, Cassandra, make the King of Pentacles. And I thought, your version. And I thought, okay, that sounds interesting. But here he is. And now I want to talk to you about the downloaded messages that I received while creating him. Now this really cracked me out. So it made me, one of the things God wanted me to do, I'm going to use the word God, I don't have time for all this. He wants me to heal my relationship with my father in terms of my perception about masculine energy. So guys, I'm going to talk about this in terms of masculine and feminine energy. Sometimes people think you're talking about male and female, but masculine and feminine energy usually exist in in all relationships, even if there has nothing to do with orientation, or even if it's two women, it's usually one who is in her feminine energy and one is in her masculine energy, and so forth. Now, for me, what came to me is that I could have known. I mean, I know this. I'm in my masculine energy. I am, heterosexual, but masculine energy has to do with a person who is you are a giver, you are a doer, and I have a hard time, receiving. So that's some of the areas I have to work on. But also to reflect on the males in my family and how I perceive them, and how this would impact who I choose as a mate. So one thing came to me is that when you are a woman in your masculine energy, it is almost like a natural law of nature that you will attract a feminine man, a man in his feminine energy. You're not going to attract a man who is a provider, or who wants to I want to say a guider. I don't even know if that's such a word. Or who is going to, he is in receptive energy, and you are in giving energy, and this is why you two are getting along, right? Now what happens is sometimes our goals change, or we're trying to elevate, but we can't elevate our financially, or we can't elevate our lives in other ways if you are not, how do I say this? If you're not operating in the greatest version of yourself, right? So the greatest version of yourself means that you may need to be around people who can help you, but the people who can help you may be operating in their let's say this: you're a woman who is very used to doing everything by yourself, for yourself, and you are trying to elevate your life. But what happens is you keep attracting men who only want who see you as somebody they can take from. Now, the reason they feel that way, and you may not understand this, is like, if I'm a feminine man, now I don't have to pay your bills. All I can do is take. I can go and I can have, intimacy with you. You're like a target. One of the things that came to me while making this King of Pentacles, and this kind of hurt me to even share it, but who knows if I even release this video, is that when you are a very masculine woman, you attract men who really, I want to use the word take advantage, but I don't think the word is take advantage. It's almost like nature and balance. So you attract men who aren't looking to have I don't want to say be a provider. When I say be a provider, I don't mean like paying somebody's bills. I just mean being in a role where he is an active participant in a family where the couple works together, have goals, even if that goal is building a family or building a business, but they're still working on building something. So if you are in your masculine energy, you're more likely to attract a man who doesn't want to do anything for you or have to do anything for you, because you already, you're sufficient, and you just become, and what's really good about it is that you're a woman that he can enjoy in a sense, but not a woman that he has to invest in emotionally or worry about. So emotionally, he doesn't have to invest, physically, financially. You're more of a easy pick for him, because you have already taken care of everything, and you don't understand why the relationship isn't growing, because it's almost like, how some animals, I think it's called a liger. Like it's a combination of a tiger and it's a combination of a tiger and a lion. I'm going to set him right here, and I'll just put some pictures of him in the end of the video showing the and I want you to fall, dude. Okay. But a liger is an animal. They don't reproduce, and they get really big. And that happens with, I don't know if it's a donkey, but it's when two animals come together, and the animals that they create aren't able to reproduce. Some things are out of some relationships don't bear fruit. They aren't productive. They maybe you had a good time creating that kid, or that lion and that tiger maybe they had a wonderful time together, right? Yeah. But the kid that they produce can't reproduce. They're usually, I think they're like huge, and they don't have a long lifespan. Just a whole bunch of issues. I mean, you can imagine lions are running packs, tigers are loners, and then like the body itself. So long story short, these animals can't survive. So I'm saying this to say that when a woman is in her masculine energy, she is naturally going to attract men who are in their feminine energy, but what they produce they won't be able to produce anything of value. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Because they're out of balance. Now, so let me explain a little bit. Let me talk a little bit about why this has come about. And these are some things I have to, look out for, or in terms of like healing myself, right? So I think I've talked about this before, that my mom, my mother is 28 years younger, was 28 years younger than my dad. And my father, hated credit cards. My father felt like if you want something, you save your money and you buy it. And my mother felt like, no, we're going to get credit cards, we're going to get in debt, and we're going to hide the mail, right? So I grew up in a home where my mother, I was her accomplice. We're going to throw the bags down the stairs. We're going to hide everything from my dad. And, it's like, so you grow up in a world where you learn that men are, I think I said it before in a previous video, they tell you no. They're like authority, the villain, the monster, the person that we have to hide everything from, to keep secrets from. We don't know. It's so, and then, my mom complained about being married and, how hard it is. So what happens is you create a daughter who, I believe that I am my mother's hero, right? I'm her hero because she kept saying, you don't need a man. You don't need to get married. It's so stressful. You got to cook, you got to clean, you got to do this and do that. And I feel like I started to live my mother's fantasy of being by myself, right? Of not having male authority, without having guidance, without having order, without having structure, and it's almost like I was an asset to her, because it's like she can have access to because I'm thinking like, oh, I just want to be a millionaire because I want to pay off my student loans and I want to take care of my mom, right? And if I was in a relationship, then that relationship would probably take precedence over her. But since, she is, I don't want to say that emotionally my mother benefits from me being single, right? And I think a lot of women, my age have become our mother's heroes, the women who were tired of cooking and tired of cleaning and tired of hiding their purchases and and hiding everything from their husbands, right? And so they instilled in their daughters, like, oh my God, you don't need a man. You don't need a husband. You can do this by yourself. You know what? If my life was different, I would leave your daddy. You know, that kind of thing. So they planted these seeds in our mind that we don't need men. So what happens with us is that our view of male companionship is shaped by our relationship. Our mother's shaped by our mother's perception of our father that was projected onto us. And so as women, we haven't learned how to have a healthy relationship. So for me, it's like, what do? I'm lucky. I'm happy that I'm able to, provide for myself, take care of myself. But also, I don't have to live under anybody's rules or any structure. But there are areas in my life where I could have used guidance, where I could have used support, where I could have used help, because everybody needs help. Everybody needs some type of support. Like, how do you make it in this world completely by yourself, right? And you just, and even when somebody is trying to help you, you think, oh, this is the enemy. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, in working with the King of Pentacles energy, I'm able to see how my view of husbands, of men who are in the home, that I grew up with my dad. But he was feared, and he was feared and respected, but definitely feared, right? We all were afraid. We had to hide everything from him. And this, I think, created a very tumultuous relationship in my mind with what a healthy relationship is, or if I need a man, and if I do, what do I need him for? And and I'm listening, hearing my mother say, you don't need a man, and thinking like, yeah, I'm lucky, nobody can tell me what to do. I can do what I want to do. And then you grow up thinking of yourself as a strong, independent woman, and you don't realize and respect the structure, the order, the security. I'm not talking about financial security. I'm talking about just like my mother was just saying the other day. I didn't have to go to work when the weather was really, really bad because I had a husband. Or I didn't have to do when some things happened. My husband protected me. She can see the value of my dad now, but he's been deceased for, what was it, like almost 20 years? Yeah, like over 20 years, right? So it's kind of like men to me are unappreciated. The ones who are good men, right? I'm not saying that all men are bad, because even when I say the good men, it's almost like saying the protocol is for them not to be good. But anyway, I'm really happy that I had an opportunity to really look at how my mother's perception of marriage and being a wife impacted my attitude towards men, and being her hero, living the life that she wanted to live, and how not having a structure and a foundation and somebody committed and who care about me in my life on a day-to-day basis, how it could impact me now. So I guess one of the things I just want to say to women, any woman who's watching this video, please be conscientious about your relationship with your dad, because it affects your money. Like, if you don't know your father, that affects your money too. How like the uncles and your brothers, and how you were treated, that you feel safe in your home. Men and women bring something very valuable to the relationship, and when those roles are toxic, it can really make it difficult for us to have healthy and loving relationships. I think one of the main reasons that a lot of women are in their masculine energy is because, not just because of the relationship that our moms had with our fathers, but also because we were taught indirectly that a man was just his wallet, that he's a provider, right? He's a protector. So we're thinking, well, in order for me to not have to deal with his rules and regulations and his order and his discipline and structure that he wants in the home, then all I need to do is make money. I'm going to go to school. I'm going to make my own money. I'm going to be my own person, and nobody's going to tell me what to do. So we didn't know that there was more to being a man. You know, in turn, there was more to what a man would bring to your life than his wallet. Because even after we're able to make money, you know, because do all these financial things for us. I'm talking about my own house. I can do blah, 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 blah. Men bring something else to the table that we were not privy to, that we were not aware of, that we were not grateful for, not respectful for, that we didn't understand. And you don't see it until much later in life, I think, when you realize that, wait, I don't need money. I need something else, right? I need the person who is going to be on the porch with me watching the sunset. I need something deeper. And it's not, you know, you both are retired, you're both older, and now you realize it's not, you need it more than his money. And I think it's that there's this emotional nurturance, intimacy, friendship. I just think there are a lot of things that men bring to the table that have absolutely nothing to do with his wallet. And I think as women, we thought, if I just make enough money, I would never need a man. I really hope this video helps someone. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you, darlings, in the next video.